Greetings, 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 everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Man. Oh,
Todd, how are you?
I need some coffee, man.
Oh,
How are you? How's it going on?
oh man, I'm great. You know why I'm great?
No.
Because I'm not in UST.
That'll do it.
What are your thoughts on UST? You had something that you had pulled up that I was like, walk us through that. What's that?
I'm a thirsty little jet fighter. You have to give me another $1 trillion in defense spending. I'm not going to do that. What? And just let him fucking die?
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure that's an F-35. So
you're pretty sure what?
That's an F-35.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, 3x over budget and 10 years late, but it's you know, what are we going to do? Just let it die. So
let it die. Well, that would make my shirt appropriate. And of course, as we are wont to do, I'm going to reveal it and then you read it to the people. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. Well, that's not a good sign. That is indeed not a good sign. That's a bad sign. That's a very bad sign.
If you are a UST maxi, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Okay, everyone. So look, back to some serious business here, Todd. Welcome in the chat, everyone. Smash that like button, hit the notification bell, maybe tell a person or two that this exists, because this show, you know what we're doing? Todd Lewis, chief engineer, chief tech officer, chief t-shirt stud. We are going through this series, which began 2 Wednesdays ago, to where we are on the quest for superior money. If you could just sit down with a whiteboard and put up on the whiteboard all of the attributes, all of the qualities that would make for superior money based upon historical evidence and based upon current technology, that's what we review here. So it's not just about cryptocurrency. This is about our quest for superior money. Why? So that when we make our own decisions, when we do the thinking for ourselves, we have a better idea of what we should be looking for versus just the opinion of other people out there who might have, let's say, subscription services that tell you how to think and what to think, what's good and what's bad. Now, that tees up what I'm about to show you. And Todd Lewis, little pain in my heart when I saw this. It was a big pain in my heart, actually. It was pretty worrying, because I mean, it might just be my interpretation, but I think 2 things. I think you got
Hang on. Is this Tom Brady to Fox News or to Fox Sports?
No, not okay. Even close. Not even close. You weren't. Hate to break it to you, you were not in the running for that position or for that job. I love you. You have a great personality, but you're a little far away, you know, in Brazil.
I can't do the travel. That's why I turned it down. So
that's why you turned down the 37.5 million a year. Do you know, I figured that out for 10 years. That is literally almost $2 million a game, a week.
Can't be bothered, man. I got weekends are my barbecue time. You know, you know, that
you reserve your weekends for, I remember when your kid slipped and busted his head open, you reserve it for emergency room visits, all of those good things. But anyway, no, you got your ass kicked in a debate. And there's a difference. This is just, if you're open to some feedback after we watch this
Please.
6-minute debate, there's a difference, Todd, between substance and non-substance. And I just want to demonstrate to you, and I want to show this because this is a learning experience for all of us. When you have a skilled debater who has the utmost substance,
a master debater,
a master debater. I was going to say been one all my life, but we digress. Of course we do. It's Crypto Coffee with Todd Lewis. And today is 5/11/22. And this is about superior money. But I'm just going to share my screen. And this is a 6-minute video. It was a debate. I was a little sad that you didn't even tell me that you were having this debate because we're partners. We're like coffee partners, man. I mean,
I'm sad I didn't tell you about this debate either. I'm a little curious what this debate was.
All right. Well, I'm just going to share my screen. And of course, people know this. This is the Crypto Vigilante. And you know, you have to respect a dude that is going to come out into the woods, into the wilderness. I mean, in the snow, to be able to put you, Todd Lewis, in your place about Mimblewimble. And here we go, because
all right,
everyone, I just want you to please recognize high quality substantive debate versus, you know, Todd Lewis
versus what we do.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
A lot of people out there are promoting privacy coins that are not private, enough, or that they're shit products. For example, anything Mimblewimble is bullshit, guys. It's not the best. So why the fuck are you going to trust something that is not the best?
The Monero community, with their, you know, in fairness, the Monero algorithm doesn't get a lot of attention these days, and so they're out there trying to help things along, and good on them for it, right?
Yeah. So with Monero, can you just compare real quickly the Monero tech versus Mimblewimble? Just because I know that we get a lot of, especially from that TCV community out there, that every time somebody says Epic Cash, they just respond to Epic Trash. And that remember that Monero is way more fungible than Epic Trash and blah, blah, blah. But just, can you explain how they achieve privacy versus how we achieve privacy?
I mean, I can do it with an analogy.
Okay.
Early coffee makers were really expensive.
Yeah.
Like 1940s, 1950s. If you had a coffee machine, it cost like a lot of money. It had like pipes and valves and tubing, and they were really impressive pieces of engineering. Like think the fancy machine at Starbucks, but even more complicated than that. That's what a 1940s era coffee machine is like.
Wow. Okay.
And in the 1970s, someone invented, it's called the ball valve. And it's the thing that makes your modern coffee maker go.
Okay.
And it's a tube with a ball in it.
Okay.
And as the hot plate is warming the water is injecting itself up the pipe using the spontaneous pressure, and it doesn't fall back because the ball blocks the tube.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, huge, intricate pipe valve manufacturing, the 1,000 pieces versus a plastic tube with a ball bearing in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
You have these two pictures in your mind, right?
Right.
In many ways, this is the more impressive piece of engineering, right?
Yes.
It's harder, it's more complicated, it's very intricate, it's got a very detailed story, whereas this one's just like cheap and simple. But in the more important sense, this one's the superior piece of engineering.
Right.
because not only is it a cheaper solution to the problem, but from an engineering perspective, much more importantly, it's a simpler solution to the problem. And the simpler solution is more reliable.
So what I picture, go ahead.
It used to be, if your 1940s era very complicated coffee maker broke, you had to call the coffee maker repairman to come out to your house.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
No, you throw the coffee maker away and you just go buy one.
Because it costs $10. Right? Because it's a hot plate and a tube and a ball bearing.
Right.
And it's just better. And all the complexity in those old style coffee machines is now just not necessary anymore.
Again, everything that's Mimblewimble is bullshit and it's a waste of time. And a lot of people ask me to talk about this, to go in depth with it. Look, man, we're not going to waste our time with shit at the Crypto Vigilante. There's so much important things to talk about. It's like, would you ask a nutritionist to get, to get into a debate with McDonald's? No, dude, don't waste his fucking time. Yeah, you can eat McDonald's all you want, but it's still shit food. Same thing with Mimblewimble. It's shit. It's shit. Shit technology. Stick with the best, especially when it regards your privacy, your private property on the internet.
Read this.
Yeah.
And then Monklin, of course, comes back with
oh, that's funny, man.
Oh, so again, substance versus non-substance. I flipped it a little. You provide the substance, as always, Todd Lewis, and he provides the argument. It's just bullshit. People keep asking me to talk about it all the time, and it's like, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna just say it's bullshit because I can't defend my massive blockchain that's not scalable, but Mimblewimble, anything is just bullshit. I don't know. That was my best impression. So do you have any comments back?
Well, I mean, first of all, thank you for making my Wednesday that much more amusing. Second, when Monero layers on bulletproofs have Peterson commitment and are actually somewhat similar mathematically to Mimblewimble. They're not as good, but they're mathematically the same family. So I'm wondering if he's just confusing them and thinking that the approach of layering in one inferior solution on top of the other is the bullshit, as opposed to the one complete solution. And he just got confused.
Okay.
And looking at his own favorite coin stack, got confused with that for the bullshit. That'd be my charitable speculation.
Okay. So the confusion wasn't about Mimblewimble and all of the coins. The confusion was that he was confused. Are we being generous?
I mean, he didn't even give. Let's see. It's BS. It's shit technology. Would you ask a nutritionist whether to eat at McDonald's? Nutritionists. I mean, there's so much to unpack there, and yet there's so little to unpack there. I didn't hear a single actual criticism of Mimblewimble. So, I mean, did I miss it or
no?
Or
you didn't. But we like to have fun Wednesday mornings here, and you can't make the stuff up. It's like we don't go looking for content, out there of people attacking us. And what he is talking about when he talks about Mimblewimble is Epic Cash, because a lot of people are wanting them to take a deep dive into Epic Cash. And those people, when they even ask in the TCV channels, they now get banned. I learned that last week. Somebody reached out to me by DM and said, I just said, hey, can you guys take a deep dive into Epic Cash? And he was banned. So that's how they deal with superior tech. So wanted to just feature that just to let people know. I mean, goodness gracious, when you take a look at their picks, oh gosh, this was funny. They came out with another coin pick, and it was the same coin pick that they provided, you know, I think like 3/4 of a year ago. So I was going to do a shtick saying that, you know, I have inside information on TCV's next superior coin pick, and it's going to be Monero.
I was about to say it's going to be Monero. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so last week you talked about how, you know, these central banks can orchestrate the demise of economies. And boy, this week, it sure has been a Sunday, bloody Sunday. It's been ugly, man. It's like every market in the world is red, it seems. And do you think this is them organizing some kind of Control-Alt-Delete reboot?
Is this the reboot? No, the reboot would be vastly deeper than this.
Okay. So
I mean, we've got tens of millions of baby boomers left to deal with their outstanding liabilities.
Okay.
Did I say that gently enough?
You did.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, everybody, this is about this this show is about this paper, and it is the quest for superior money. Started off where I, you know, really wanted to take a deep dive into, you know, the attributes, the positive qualities of if you could design superior money. And Todd Lewis actually went through that process with Max Freeman several years ago. And Epic Cash is grounded based upon those principles and those qualities. So we have all of those. I will tell you, I feel a little bit silly on this. I forgot one, and that is private by default, which I will add. And everybody at the end of this series, we're going to have this, which is going to be man, you know what? I don't even know if I have it. I may have to search for it. But anyway, people have seen it before. And what I'd like to do, just because, thank you, Crypto Vigilante, for teeing it up, but Mimblewimble is obviously bullshit.
Who is that guy?
That is the Crypto Vigilante. That's Rafael Laverde. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one that is the evangelist. He is basically when Jeff walks loose, they're in partnership. So Jeff is the marketing arm for TCV, and so when they have a new coin pick, Jeff will promote it for the few weeks prior on his walk. So this is the guy, that Crypto Vigilante, and you know, I think his vote is in on Mimblewimble. But unfortunately, the sad part of that is, you know, they have a lot of people who spend $800 a year. And it's just a shame how just because they're trying to protect and guard their own portfolio, that they will not entertain Epic Cash. And they have kept so many people who are concerned about their privacy away from Epic Cash, just from the single fact that every time anyone enters in Epic Cash in there, there's an auto pop-up that says, let us remember what Mr. X says about Mimblewimble. Mimblewimble is nowhere near as fungible as Monero. and then it just dissuades them. So so I wanted to take a look at some of these qualities that might have to do with Mimblewimble. One of them being scalable and fast. Is there someone in your room? Are you
I have an urgent kindergarten problem.
Oh, okay. You go do you. And I will so I wanted to address scalable and fast because this is going to be about our blockchain size. And you know what, guys? You're going to forgive me, but I kind of want to find this. Well, you know, maybe I can pull this up. Let's see. And, you know, look, you guys get what you pay for. That's not opening either. I'm wanting to find my, is this it? Is this it? Come on. Nope.
Sorry about that.
No worries. No worries. So I'd like for you to talk about scalable and fast. That is one of the qualities, because if you are going to be a superior currency, I think we should discuss, you know, point of sale, retail transactions, how fast those would have to take. If you're paying with Bitcoin and you're not on their layer 2 solution, you know, can you do a transaction in under 8 to 10 minutes? I don't know. So can you unpack that? Scalable and fast. Why is that on our list as a quality for superior money?
So like in all of these things, I try to bring back to the question of what is money? Like, what does it do? And I'll go Hannibal Lecter on you. In everything, inquire, what is its essence? What is its nature? Which he pretends to quote Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, exactly. He pretends to quote Marcus Aurelius, but he doesn't really, if you actually look for the quote. What is its nature? Money is in its nature a commodity, which money is that commodity in the economy which has the maximum exchange value. And there is a game theory optimum in the economy where one commodity rises to the peak in exchange value, and its use is dominated by its exchange value over its monetary value. And for thousands of years, this role was served primarily by gold. And then governments transmogrify gold into fiat currency. And surprise, surprise, hilarity ensued. So what you want from when you're evaluating a commodity as potential money, the question you need to ask is, can its exchange value be dominant? And in order to have exchange value, it needs to be suitable for exchange. Mm-hmm. And one of the questions of whether you can exchange something is, like, how practical is the exchange? So the 15-minute block times of Bitcoin, for example, are a problem. You don't want to wait up to 15 minutes in order for your transactions to clear on the blockchain, and then be subject to a reorganization potentially after that. The Epic Cash blockchain has 60-second block times. We've discussed making it faster. That's an area of active research. And then on scalability, is it suitable to be used for exchange by a large number of people? Because you want to have widespread acceptance. You want to have it dominant in the economy. Again, we used to have this with gold as global currency. Gold and silver. Gold and silver were accepted practically everywhere in the world, mm-hmm. up until 100 years ago, when the governments finally clamped down on it. in the eternal struggle between cats and vacuum cleaners, which is man's struggle against the state. The more capacity a given monetary channel has for transactions, the greater the scope of the economy which it can encompass with its monetary function.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the intro to speed and scalability, and why they're important for the monetary function to emerge. Which again, I mean, let's not get it twisted. Let's remember what it's all about. The goal is to fix money, right?
Mm-hmm.
The goal is not to be trendy. The goal is not to, I mean, some people have the goal to be trendy and to speculate and the rest of it. Our hope is to fix money.
So you and Max literally at the beginning set out with that mission. I mean, not just to be another crypto that, might moon and you could get rich and everything. It was really literally almost a philanthropic, if I didn't destroy that word, approach to no. We want to create something truly special with today's technology. Because I understand you and Max really went back and forth a lot. Everything except getting into a boxing ring on some of these qualities.
No, we hashed it out, and they were very intentional design choices. Yeah.
So when we talk about qualities, we're talking about design choices, correct? Did you start with a list of what we're going to create needs to address these like we're going through right now? Or did I just lucky?
I was the junior partner in this exercise. So all through the discussion into the design of Epic Cash was the question of what would superior money look like? How do we best serve the monetary function? And Max, God bless him, understands these questions just front to back.
Right.
And I think the fact that we focus so much on the definition of good money and trying to create good money is, to my mind, the differentiating factor into what Epic is and what it represents. The fact that we copied Bitcoin's emission curve, for example,
Mm-hmm.
that we understand the importance of conservative monetary emission. You want a coin to have scarcity and to have a fixed supply, so that savers and people who are preserving purchasing power have a vehicle suitable for doing so. If Paul Krugman were here, then his head would pop clean off of his shoulders with anger for saying that. And I guess that the Crypto Vigilante is on Paul Krugman's side here. I mean, I don't know. I'm wondering what the motivation is to be opposed to building the superior solution. I mean, he's either a bad engineer or he's a Krugmanite. And Krugmanite's a respectable opinion, right? So is that the charitable thing for us to assume here in his rejection of Mimblewimble? It's just that he's carrying water for the New York Times editorial page, or what? I'm not familiar with Crypto Vigilante, so I couldn't say for sure. But yeah, superior money. What is the agenda, right? Superior money is what we're trying to catalyze into existence, and the emission curve being high on that list, but then fungibility being the other key one. And Mimblewimble is just by far the superior choice of how to create fungibility. It's the simplest and it's the surest means that humanity has discovered at all. For creating fungibility, like by far.
So for those who have been beaten over the head, who have been part of the TCV, fanboy club, and I'll raise my hand to say I was one. really hanging on their every word.
Paul Krugman, Nobel Prize winner, good writer.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
Jeff Berwick, great dog walker. And I think we can agree. We do love Jeff. What is it you said last week?
Lots of good Misesian analysis, Austrian economics. So I'm surprised that he would be affiliated with a Krugmanite like the Crypto Vigilante.
Krugmanite. Well, you know, at bottom, what it is they were very, very early on with Monero. And in 2014, I think Monero should be celebrated because that was superior tech and to be able to protect privacy. And so they
Novell, WordPerfect, Lotus, MySpace. I mean, superior technology, Nokia. Superior technology that's early in the technology world is very common, right?
100%. That's correct. But I think when you are a Nokia early adopter stockholder who are vested, you just kind of hang in there, right? Like it's like
you rode it on the way up. Why wouldn't you ride it all the way down?
Which, by the way, a year ago, if you would have put $100 into Monero, you would be down to $44. If you would have put $100 into Epic Cash, you would be up to $580 something dollars. And that's a year ago. So that's even at our retrace. Those numbers were pulled from yesterday. It's in the video that I showed at the beginning. It actually shows those percentages when you're debating, Raphael. But so I may have those numbers a little bit wrong. You can fact check me by going and reviewing that. But so that's kind of the, and that's at yesterday's price, which we were sub $1 for the first time in a long, long time. So as Max says, we are pregnant with possibility, and and our future is very, very bright. Because we are going to be effective through this show and others of really letting people know what the DNA of Epic Cash is and why it was designed the way it was. So scalable and fast. Can you just talk about what Mimblewimble allows us to do to make it scalable and fast that has to do with our blockchain being so light in comparison to perhaps a Bitcoin or a Monero?
I mean, it's not even Mimblewimble. 60-second block times are just a choice. And as we just get more experience with Bitcoin, I think you see a lot of optimization on these parameters. 15% or 15 minutes per block in the original Bitcoin design was just too conservative.
Yeah,
we realize that now. And Mimblewimble has good data sizes on transactions, but in all data sizes, the size of the transaction is not growing nearly as fast as the bandwidth is growing. And so as the bandwidth grows, our ability to use the bandwidth to push transactions down the pipe will continue to grow. And Yoga has this great map of Epic nodes around the world, and how we have Epic running on every continent except except Antarctica, right? Every seriously inhabited continent has Epic nodes running on it, right? That phenomenon is going to continue to grow, and the ability to just accept large quantities of transactions. I saw the other day that last year, the Bitcoin network accepted, And we're just getting started, and it's already a significant global network.
Now, let's talk about that. So that's a significant global network. What does this, when you see a map like this and you see such disbursement of nodes across 2,051 cities, what does that do to protect Epic Cash, our blockchain, our protocol?
It has a widespread consensus in the network as to what the state of the blockchain is. That means that the danger of forks is small, and the protection provided by the consensus is high.
Hey, Todd, I'm looking at the live, and it looks like you and I are frozen. That's weird.
Okay.
Let me just ask, are we frozen?
I see the map on Epic.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Here,
I just brought it up.
Let me share the map again. Because I'm concerned. It's just like, let me refresh my screen. How in the hell do I do that? We good.
Okay.
Looks good here. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just frozen on mine. That is so darn weird, but it is what it is. All right.
You clever jerk. You staged this, but we're going to use this as an example. See, if this had been Epic Cash, and if your computer had been frozen, the chain would have continued, right? Why? Because everyone else's computer is doing fine, which is why the more nodes that you have and the more consensus you have within the network, the less it matters any individual nodes fail.
Can we just turn around, and can you give me a pat on the back for that?
Well done for the stage management, man.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I mean, I'm brilliant.
We all know that.
Of that. Yeah, it's just okay. So that's a great idea I had before the beginning of the show, where we spent 60 minutes talking about what we're going to talk about. I said, I'm going to show this map, and okay. So now
we pretend that your computer froze. Yeah.
Okay. So how does this compare to other protocols? Do you know? I mean,
I'd say there are two kinds of protocols. So the protocols who are stuck with the design choices of the past, and the protocols that are evolving. And the protocols that are evolving are very rapidly increasing their transaction rates and lowering their block times. This is the clear trend. And Epic is riding the wave on that. We're among the leaders in terms of throughput and low transaction times.
There's a guy I respect a lot who wrote Requiem for a Maxi. Do you care to unpack that, because you're the guy?
I did not write it. I copied and pasted it to you. Let me see if I have it here. Do you have it?
Requiem for a Maxi. You rocked up, turned the superior money discussion into an antique money discussion, and then your moment passed. We now return to your normally scheduled mission of superior money.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through our chat and I see your Borat Mankini here. Because maxis were so obnoxious for the past several years that people forget there was a time when the Bitcoin community was dominated by a desire to fix the monetary system. And these people are still. I'm making a serious point. You're not making this any easier.
Back to our regular scheduled show on superior money.
There was a time when the Bitcoin community was dominated by people with a desire to build a superior monetary system. And those people are still there. They were just drowned out by the mouth breathing, people who are, and now that Maxi fever has broken, because they had their run up. The smart ones cashed out, the dumb ones are doomed. But either way, the wave has broken, right?
Okay.
My suggestion was that we could move away from technology nostalgia, like the BlackBerry is so intuitive that nothing could ever displace it. Right. This is the basic theory of Bitcoin maximalism, right?
Yes.
It is that the Nokia brick or the BlackBerry keyboard is just the ultimate expression of mobile computing, and nothing could ever shove it to the side.
Yeah.
Now that fever is broken, we've all woken from the fever dream. We can get back to the question of what does superior money even consist of, right?
Yes.
What are the problems that we need to solve in order to bank the unbanked, in order to have true fungibility in money, in order to depoliticize money, in order to have money serve the economy, in order to have money be a catalyst for finding the economic optimum and the choices that people make every day in their mix of production and consumption. And this is a conversation that if you're one of the Paul Krugmans of the world, you don't want to have, because you want people sleeping on the question of where money comes from and who controls it. You want the beautiful people in charge of deciding what monetary policy looks like and who the winners and losers are. And not surprisingly, the beautiful people who control the monetary system make people like themselves the winner, right?
Yeah.
Or do you want a form of money which is neutral and which serves as a catalyst for people to enjoy the fruits of their own labor, and for people, no matter how poor, to be able to participate in the economy and have the dignity of providing for themselves, but through honest work and through trading the results of their labor and monetizing it? That's the question that we think it's all about. And so when I see the speculators, trash talking coin X or pumping coin Y, it doesn't make me angry, and it doesn't make me I don't even disagree with them. I just think it's silly and irrelevant. Right? It just doesn't matter to our mission of creating superior money.
So, okay, thank you. Scalable and fast. I just would like to book in that one because we started with TCV, and we know that he believes superior tech is Monero and Pirate Chain. So,
dude, I loved the BlackBerry. Like, I swore by my BlackBerry for so long, right? The keyboard was what for 15 years ago. The keyboard was a good experience, you know, and it didn't matter how many times you dropped it on the concrete floor, like in a truck stop, the BlackBerry would just survive.
It worked.
And that's the sense in which I'm a Monero enthusiast.
But the fact is, with our blockchain being 2.26 gigabyte at scale, Bitcoin, I believe, is 350 gigabyte, and I think Monero is half that, maybe. And that was with their prior obfuscation of 11 cups and ball, and now it's 16. So that's gotten even more complicated. But that doesn't allow a blockchain to scale, right? Because their blocks still have the historical information of all the transactions from the date of minting, and whereas ours just do not with Mimblewimble. So
with cut through, cut through consolidates the block size and makes it much easier to bootstrap a node.
Right. I knew that. If anybody is interested in my continued disclaimer, hi there, young fella. How are you? Are you the one that slipped and fell and hit your head and you had to go to the hospital? Oh, right there.
Right there.
Oh, let me high five you from afar.
Oh,
I don't know if you can
there
tell,
you go.
but mine was right there too. When I was like 2 years old, I have a perma scar on my eyebrow to where
I was 4 when I did that one.
See, so we're the forehead partners, you know, we're the triplets. Yeah.
Yours is, yeah.
Oh, look at him. He's given that Illuminati Mason right there. He's given the sign.
Hey, Captain America, can you scoot while we finish our phone call?
Thanks, Captain.
I will.
Like the time.
No problem. No problem. And here's something you can do.
She doesn't know she's gonna.
We're having coffee time, and I can't do it without coffee. Can you help me with that?
Oh yeah.
Hopeful boy. Hopeful boy.
All right. So we've discussed scalable and fast. So is it not? I mean, basically, Monero and Pirate, their use case is, you know, privacy coin, right? They are private by default. And
is Monero private by default? I forget. It wasn't always, right?
I don't know. I always thought it was.
Okay.
That's
it's been several years since I looked at Monero. You know, I mean, I look at at John Gatling's patent filing for the original Gatling gun for the 1870s, which is a fascinating piece of tech because it's so simple and so old that you can actually rebuild it at home nowadays and build your own fully automatic machine gun, which is like really interesting that what's now basically just a toy because it's completely obsolete in the functional sense, but the designs are completely public. And in that sense, I really enjoyed looking at 150-year-old technical diagrams from Civil War era machine guns. I don't do it every day. I don't stay up on the cutting technology of innovation in manual hand cranked machine guns.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were we talking about Monero? Yeah. Yeah. I don't keep up with. I haven't checked out the latest innovations in Monero recently because you kind of don't have to.
Right. Now, look, everyone out there watching this, you may say, "Man, these guys are doing a hit piece on Monero." No, we don't start things. We finish them. Please understand that. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. And so I didn't go on a cigar walk talking about the inadequacies of Gatlinburg tech, or the coins held in TCV's portfolio. Do your own research.
Here's a challenge for the Monero enthusiast. Here's what Mimblewimble does. You send some coins in, and Mimblewimble provides mathematical proof that the coins that come out are equal to the coins coming in without revealing to the public what those quantities are. Okay? Like that's it. That's all Mimblewimble does. Uses a Peterson commitment. That's it. You can see the code. It's simple. The paper's like 3 pages. You can read a explanation of the algorithm in 2 or 3 pages, right? And using that one primitive, you can build a coin where the graph commutes and you have no idea the origin of the coins that you receive all the way through the commutative transaction graph on the ledger. And that's how Mimblewimble creates fungible coins. You are a good boy.
Awesome.
Thank you, my son. I'm gonna
awesome.
be in a little while. All right. I'll do a special treat for you because you do such a good job of waiting. It is hot. Hey, can you close that door?
Awesome.
He's a good boy.
He looks like a good boy.
And so here's the question. What does Monero do? Okay. Do you have a clear idea?
Monero is just not bullshit.
Do you have a clear idea of what Monero does? Because I'm pretty sure I know what Monero does. And what Monero does is a combination of like 6 or 7 things, and none of them is as strong as Mimblewimble, right? What is the bullshit aspect of Mimblewimble that the commitments, that the bulletproof commitments in Monero are superior to? And why are bulletproofs in Monero superior to Mimblewimble? And when you ask for the actual reasons from anyone who's actually looked at the technology, the answer is they're not. They're not.
Where's my mic? Here, I can't drop it. I can't drop it. Okay.
All that having been said, back in the dark ages, when Monero was built, did Monero help advance us towards a better future of money? It did. It absolutely did. It was a good exercise. I'm glad that we did it. And it's in the past.
And we learned from it. And BlackBerry was awesome.
BlackBerries were awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I love the holsters. You know, whenever you'd get kind of buzzed whenever you got a call or something, and it'd be like just a little bit of a adrenaline kick. You know, they were awesome. So on the sheet that I cannot find to open up, but next week I will have it. I'm sorry, but you have scalable and fast, which I put a check mark for Epic. Bitcoin got an X. Gold gets an X. Federal Reserve notes, I think I put a check mark, and Federal Reserve digital credits, I put a check mark. I'll have to double.
I think that's fair. And if anything, Federal Reserve notes might be a little too scalable.
Yeah. Well, yesterday when I went and bought a loaf of bread, it's definitely scalable, and it translates into higher prices. The other thing,
what's true for gangsters is true for the economy. More money, more problems.
So Todd, we always do 2, and I think this one we can knock 2 additional ones out, because I think they're kind of synonymous, but not really. Fair launch and trustless. And the reason why I wanted to put the trustless is I understand at the beginning of Monero, because there's something about who's the dude that was the spy that got arrested, or the God, what's his name?
Edward Snowden?
Yeah,
or
Snowden.
Julian. Okay, right.
Yeah, thank you. Snowden. So Snowden apparently was part of the original fair launch of Monero. I may totally have that wrong, but I thought I read that yesterday somewhere. But anyway, at the beginning, it was not trustless. And if you could just kind of educate us on what does trustless mean when you are engineering a coin. What they had was basically all of the people there agreed that they were going to tear up their seed words or whatever. I think that's right. But that takes trust. So that's not entirely trustless. Now, did all of them do it? Likely, right? So but just imagine if one person didn't. I put myself through college as a magician. I know how to palm things. I can make it look like I tear up a piece of paper, and then I can restore it.
I'm not a magician, and I know how to copy the piece of paper before I tear it up on camera.
I think in 2014 they had cell phones that you could like put it in your lap and just take a quick pic, and then
with your Nokia brick, which is indestructible and the perfection of cell technology, it'll never get any better.
Hello? Yes. So can you just talk to us about both trustlessness and fair launch?
Yeah, fair launch. The money supply when Epic launched was precisely 0. Okay, so that's the fair launch. No one had any coins going into the exercise.
Okay,
so that really
non-fair launch coins means what? So if
means that as of the first block, someone already has a million, 1,000 coins or 1,000,000 coins or some quantity of coins.
okay, so that's basically a founder's or
bounty or
yeah, it's basically you're skimming
and these things often exist for good reasons. Like they'll fund a community initiative or development or maintenance, right? You know, it's not that these things are necessarily bad. It's something everyone should judge for themselves.
Yeah,
in a given coin in terms of where the coins went. But for Epic, it's a very, very easy question to judge because the quantity was 0. Right.
The quantity was 0 when you released it to the wild, right?
That's
when
right.
people could then go start mining it. And it was just fair. It was fair for everyone on the planet who were interested or knew of Epic and had the technical capabilities to go mine it. And
that's right.
Then ultimately buy it. So it is
that's what a fair launch is, right?
Okay, great. And so Bitcoin would have been a fair launch.
Yes.
I gave them a check. Gold as a fair launch, I think I gave it a check. It's like,
I think that's fair.
You know, and then Federal Reserve notes and Federal Reserve digital credits, while they're really scalable because they can print a lot of them, I can't remember what I put. Would those have been a fair launch?
I mean, the original holders of dollars were basically gold holders when it came off the backing, and then they gave a bunch to themselves, and then when the dollar went off of gold, they basically gave a bunch of it to the banks. That was the whole point of going off of gold, was that FDR could create a bunch of dollars and give them to the banks. And then in the 70s, the same thing happened again. So it depends on how you define the launch of the dollar, because you can trace the dollar's lineage all the way back to the Joachim Thaler in Germany in the 1500s with the discovery of the modern huge silver mine in Germany. And the Spanish milled dollar, the pieces of 8, the Thaler, where's the launch of the dollar, right? It was centuries ago. So you can call that fair or not, depending on what you define as the advent of the dollar. If you define it as the advent of the modern completely unbacked dollar, then I'd say you could make an argument that the launch was not fair, but I'd call it pretty fair throughout.
Okay.
Right. I'm happy to give the dollar the benefit of the doubt on that one. Right.
Okay. Well, hey, I wanted to correct myself, and I thank you, DVS. Uncle's thinking of Zcash, and indeed, I was thinking of Zcash, which also uses Mimblewimble, but it was not a trustless launch.
Zcash uses ZK Snark. Doesn't, to my knowledge, doesn't use Mimblewimble.
Oh, I thought they were a Mimblewimble coin.
No.
Okay. See everyone, if you go down into my comments, the very last link all the way down and click on it, there's a disclaimer. It's a video disclaimer that declares I don't know shit. So don't take anything I say as sage counsel. Okay, so we covered that, fair launch, trustless. Next week I'll do better. I'll actually have this chart up. I can't believe I can't find it on my desktop somewhere. But okay, I think it's 9:15. We gave everyone a good solid hour. We were a little late. And guess what? In the future, we start this at 8:00 a.m. Eastern-ish.
I'm sorry I was late.
so if we're not here, just hang in there. I sent up my bat signal to Max. I said, are you up? I'm like, maybe you could come. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll have to fly solo. And then when I do, that's really going to be an interesting discussion because I'm just going to make shit up. That's all there is to it.
I love our Wednesdays, man. It's always a pleasure.
All right. So everyone in the chat, thank you for coming here. Frodo, Harmon, Lydia, DVS, Rescued Car Collective, Lydia, Ite 1300. Is that it? Raul Aguero, Rowena. Hello, Warren Thompson. Harmon, you're still here. Jeff R. By Heat. Todd Lewis. Are we frozen? Okay. So thank you. Thank you all of you who made our coffee that much better. So until next week, when you never know what's going to come, maybe Todd Lewis debates someone else, but it's always going to be entertaining, full of caffeine, and we're just happy you're here. All right, Todd, thank you so much for joining this week.
It's a pleasure, guys. See you next time.
All right, cheers.